Welcome to the Christy Jones Show. This is your go-to podcast for living life to the fullest. I am a life and empowerment coach, speaker, and business owner in multifamily real estate. I am a woman passionate about helping others build a life that they truly desire. We'll talk about how to make the most out of every day, from setting meaningful goals to embracing the present moment. So join us as we explore the depths of living a life that is full of joy, purpose, and satisfaction. Well, hello, friends. Welcome back this week. Another week, another good episode of the Christy Jones Show. And if you tuned in last week, you knew that I shared 3 key principles that I believe are the foundation or the formula to be successful truly in any area of your life. And so one of those items that I talked about was preparation. And so today I'm going to dive into preparation just a little bit more because what I found, there was a lot of dialogue when it came to preparation. So I decided maybe we need to dive into that just a little bit more. And, preparation in regards to, preparing yourself. It's one of the foundational things, preparing yourself for whatever it is that you're set out to achieve, whatever goal you've established, and again, I say that this could be like your career, it could be a personal goal, it could be a professional goal, it could be a health goal, it could be a relationship goal. Whatever that is, that's specific to you. But I believe that preparation is so important. It's been so important in my life for me to have the success and the flexibility, the freedom, the enjoyment, the fulfillment that I am experiencing. So that's why I thought I'd spend a little more time talking about that. So let me talk about daily habits. Daily habits and our daily practices. That's super important to tune into and to pay attention. These habits help you stay focused. They help you stay motivated. They help you stay productive towards working towards your goal. And ultimately, when you stay focused and motivated and productive, you're going to get the success that you're wanting. So let's start by talking about our vision. And I believe it's really important to have a clear vision of what it is you're setting out to do or create or experience. And so when you are able to have a clear vision of what that is, you can move forward with much more purpose and much more direction. So it also, when you are established what your clear vision is, it helps you set your preparation up by breaking it down into smaller chunks. So you break it down into smaller steps, smaller daily habits. And it's part of, when you get clear on your vision, part of breaking it down into smaller chunks, smaller daily habits, is you have to establish a routine, I believe, a daily routine that works for you. You've got to have a daily routine that is unique and specific to whatever phase of life you're in, because it's going to look different. Like my daily routines looked a lot different when I was a young single mother than now at 52 and an empty nester and a professional and a wife and a grandmother and all of those things. So my routines are much different than they were 25, 30 years ago. And yours are too. So you have to, don't ever let anyone tell you, I love these, like, this is what you have to do in the morning. Exactly this. This is the routine that you have to have a great day, or to set yourself up for the day to go smooth or to have the most successful day. I say that's really unique to each person, and depending on what season of life you're in and what the circumstances are for you at this given time. So know that you need to do this is where self-awareness, not to go off on a complete tangent on self-awareness, I talk about it a lot, but this is where self-awareness is really important. Because the more you understand yourself, the more you understand what like habits and routines are best going to support you right now. So creating a daily routine is very important. And it's something that you need to look at where you're at in life, what's going on in your world right now, and then prepare your morning routine, your daily routine around that. So in preparation for success, first of all, daily habits. Daily habits matter. That's one of the messages that I really want to get across. Your daily habits and your daily practices, they do matter. It's like we can't show up. It's just like anything. You can't work out one time in 2 weeks and expect that you're going to hit your end result. It's not, if that's all that, how often you're doing that habit, and if you have a goal that's, pretty lofty, you've got a pretty aggressive goal when it comes to your health and wellness and fitness, once every 2 weeks isn't going to cut the mustard. It's not going to get you there. If it does, then it's going to take a really long time. So daily habits do matter. And also daily habits and practices help us stay focused, motivated, productive. So remember that. Second thing, when it comes to preparation and preparing to be successful, that one of the key elements I believe in how we lead a successful and fulfilled life is managing your time. Managing our time, that is like, oh gosh, nobody wants to hear the word time management. We all have the same flipping 24 hours in a day. We do. I mean, I wish I could add some hours on most days. I've also had some days I wish I could just chip away some hours. Let's just end this day now. Let's just end and start new tomorrow. But we all have the same 24 hours. And it's how we choose to use our time and especially when it comes to the preparation, it's how we choose to use our time that matters. So there are things that you can do that are going to just not be very productive. And if you're making that choice consciously, that is fine. But sometimes we go about things like kind of in an unconscious way because we have maybe patterns or habits that aren't supporting the goal and the future and the success that we're wanting to create. So you have to take a look at how you're spending your time and your ability to prioritize. I believe successful people have really gotten good. I found that the better I got at prioritizing tasks that were important and focused on the important things, that mattered more than me divvying up time to trivial BS. I had to be able to identify important items versus the trivial ones and delegate my time accordingly. So don't get so bogged down with the trivial matters, because is that the best use of your time? Is that the wisest way for you to be utilizing your time right now? So managing your time is super important in your preparation process. The better you get at managing your time, you'll find that the preparation process runs smoother, gets easier. And when it comes to managing your time, I do want to say, you have to get good at prioritizing your time and not letting things just fall on you. You have to set boundaries. You have to establish some kind of like some game rules in a sense. So you've got to establish some boundaries so you're protecting your time. That means you're probably going to have to say no. And if you're a person that's uncomfortable saying no, this is a big one for you. This is a time sucker for you. So you have to be comfortable saying no, or, at this time, I'm not able to do that at this time, but, I'll check back with me next month, and maybe it's something that I can, my schedule might allow for me to jump in and participate, whatever it is. I mean, whatever the circumstance is. But I'm just saying that if you're a yes person and you're not protecting your time and utilizing your time in the most efficient way, then you're going to have a harder time in the preparation process. So saying no is not a bad thing. No is not a bad word. So you've got to protect your time, manage your time. You get 24 hours. We all do. So it's how we choose to divvy up that time. And so know that. One of the things, productivity hacks, and I talk about this on my social media fairly often. I don't think I've talked about it in a podcast yet, in a podcast episode, but this has to do with effectively managing your time. I call it a brain dump, because I'm a very visual person. So I use a lot of words that are extremely visual, like dumping the brain. So a brain dump, and a brain dump I like to do on a Sunday night or a Monday morning. And that's where basically you grab a notebook and you grab a pen, and you just, anything that is ruminating in your brain, even your to-do list, things that you're thinking, oh crap, I got to do that this week. Ooh, I have this coming up, and I don't, just different things you're navigating and scheduling in your life, or even thoughts you're holding on to. And like I said, ruminating in your brain, write it down. Do a brain dump. Everything that's in here, get it out on paper. There's something to be said for, like, when we do that, I believe it I call it frees up the hard drive. It's like doing a little download, doing a brain download. Like, who couldn't use a brain download, right? And sometimes the things that we are just ruminating on, that's really sucking up time for us throughout our day, are things that we are just mulling over and rethinking a conversation, or overthinking something. And it's a waste of time. So, and it's honestly, it's like a waste of your energy as well. It drains you. The more we sit there and get in our head about things, it's draining on our energy. So do a brain dump. I recommend on Sundays, or start the week off on Monday, and get it all out. And then you can relook at it. And then you can say, hey, okay, pull off the things that need to go on your calendar, or organize on your schedule. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that just stays on the note, goes into the abyss of your notes, goes into space, because it's just stuff that you've been hashing over in your brain. And it's not serving a purpose, and it's not helping you move forward. It's causing you to overthink or get stuck. So maybe that's something you want to journal on. Circle hey, I need to think this particular thing out a little more. Circle it. There's your journal item. When you sit down to do your journaling, do some thought work on that. And that would be the time to do that. So you have to get really good at compartmentalizing. Say that 3 times really fast. Compartmentalizing your thoughts and then your time. So that's a topic for journaling. So, leave that where it is for the time being. And a lot of times when you do a brain dump, again, it's just like a weight off of your shoulders. It helps you see things from a different perspective, and to say, hey, is this something I need to be continually thinking over? Is this something that needs to get on my schedule? Is this something that I need to think about on another day? So I call it the brain dump. You can call it whatever you want, but that works for me. And that's what I coach others on. And many have found it very effective. So when you spend time in your head, when you spend time thinking about all that stuff that's in your head, it's soaking up valuable time. So brain dump it. And another note on preparation. So I've talked about daily habits. I've talked about managing your time. And I want to touch on how you approach this whole thought of preparation, of when we're preparing. And preparing is like, these are the daily things that you're doing, your daily habits, your daily practices. These are, if whatever your end goal is, you're creating your habits and your routines to strengthen yourself, strengthen your skill set, to become better in those areas so that you can achieve the end goal. And I think it's really important that you approach preparation in general, that you enjoy the process. It's to be enjoyed, and you need to enjoy the process. If you don't enjoy the process of whatever it is that you're working towards, I see this in people's careers a lot. If you're not enjoying the process, then there's a disconnect there. The end goal is going to take a process to get there. And to be successful is a lot of different components to that. And you bring so much better energy to it, and you show up in a much different way if you enjoy the process. Now, don't get me wrong, we all are going to have days and moments where we're like, ugh, I am not feeling this today. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a continual attitude, a continual energy that you just either can't stand it, hate every minute of it, or you really enjoy the process. We can have hard things that we want to accomplish, and we can have big goals, but yeah, it's hard, but we still enjoy the process. Does that make sense? So I feel like it's really important when we talk about preparation that it's to be enjoyed. There's going to be parts you don't love. There's going to be things that are really hard. There's going to be things that are uncomfortable. But enjoying the process of being uncomfortable, enjoying the process of being challenged, enjoying the process of problem solving and figuring out what works and what doesn't work, enjoying the process of creating your daily routine. So I hope that makes sense. But I just feel like that's a really big one. I didn't want to skip over that. So I definitely wrote that down in my notes here. So one of the things when I talk about preparation, and one of these key components of the formula of success, is that sometimes people are waiting for things to be perfect before they start. Waiting to start preparing, to start working on myself, to start working towards my goal. I'm waiting for everything to be perfect. I talked about this last week in the last podcast about why that's a double-edged sword. That's, do not wait for things to be perfect before you start. Because you guys, life's never perfect. There's never going to be the perfect scenario. And can I tell you that when people are waiting for the perfect scenario, you know what most times is behind that? Is simply fear. It's simply fear. It's the fear of the unknown, the fear of what if I can't do this, the fear of I'm not enough, the fear, it's fear-based thinking. And it's usually, and maybe you're not thinking that's it, but deep in our subconscious, way back here in our brain, that's what's showing up. So fear of what ifs and our excuses for why we're not doing the daily habits, the preparation, a lot of times that's just fear. It's just fear. So that's why we have to uncover that. We have to look at that. Like, what is truly stopping me? What am I fearful of? And it's so many times that's what I hear. So many times. So don't wait for things to be perfect. A lot of times it's fear trying to be your boss. And you can't let that happen. You can't let that happen. That's where you have to come in, and as the wise soul and person that you are, and know that you just have to hush, tell that part of your brain to hush. That those things that you're fearful of, that's just your brain making chatter. It's just your brain making chatter. So daily habits, they are critical, you guys, to living a fulfilling life. This podcast is all the things to live your life fully. And I believe that, we all want to be successful at our lives, and we want to be fulfilled. And so to be successful, to be fulfilled, to live a thriving life takes preparation. So we have to be willing to do the preparations along the way. We don't get just to wake up and have it all happen. We have to definitely do the work along the way. So when you have a clear vision and you develop your daily routines, manage your time, and have a positive mindset, you will be on your way to the success that you are desiring. So rehash these talking points that I've brought up to you today. Let your brain just kind of marinate on those for a while, and then implement these habits and watch your life begin to transform. Well, I hope you have found this episode helpful and insightful and a little sunshine in your day. I will be back next week. And until then, go make it a great week. I'll talk to you soon.